vidIQ suggested that I should name this video Top 5 Camera Gear for Beginner Photographers, but I think it's applicable also for video makers and not only for beginners. First of all, what you should get as a photographer or video maker is a tripod. You can go with something like this. This is a stand from DJI Ronin S, but if I were you, I would choose a sturdy metal tripod with ball head. You can adjust the camera angle more precisely, and if there is an option for the camera to go upside down and there is a column in the tripod that allows you to do it, to turn it upside down, it will allow you to get a pretty nice low angle. For a photographer, it is a must for landscape photography, for nighttime photography, for long exposure photography. Number 2 is a light. Doesn't matter if you use smartphone or camera for your videos or photography. You can go with something cheap like this. It is a ring light, but don't put it straight up like this. Just change the angle, and this way you can eliminate the blank face and add some texture and add some mood to the image you're getting.
You can also use this light for 3D photogrammetry, but I'll talk about it in a different video.
If you have around $100, you can get yourself a lighting setup with, for example, 3 light tubes. They are RGB, so you can adjust any color you want and make the mood you want. And they are pretty sturdy. They are made of metal and they have pretty good magnets, so I can attach them like this. You can also use it for long exposure photography, for example for light painting, and you can get something like this. Next important point is sound. Even if you're not a video maker, if you're a photographer, now it's necessary to create content for social media, and it's better to have a good sound in your reels or shorts or what else is there, TikToks, and it's better to have your talking head videos with a good sound. So you can go for different options. You can get a cheap lav mic like this for maybe $5 up to $20, or you can go with a shotgun mic like this. It starts from around $50, or if you have a budget, you can get a wireless system. There are all kinds of Chinese cheap mics, or you can go with Rode or Saramonic, or for example with DJI. I've chosen DJI mic because you can use it with smartphone and camera, and it has all the necessary connectors, and it has good sound quality and signal quality. I have made a separate video about mics, so I'd be glad if you go and check it out. If you're a photographer, you may think that the next point is not very important, but for video makers it is extremely important. So the cage for a camera, if it goes with something like this, it is a handle. You can attach basically anything to it. You can attach a microphone, an external monitor, some other extension grips like articulation arms. This is a small rig one, maybe 11 inches, or a small thing like this, or you can use something like this. It is a clamp. If you're using a manual lens, you can attach a follow focus system with this to your cage. I must also mention that sometimes the cage can save your camera from falling. When I was using a Fujifilm camera, it had a very small camera body, so it was uncomfortable to hold it with a hand. You just couldn't feel the grip, so I've bought a cage for it, and one day it saved my camera from being smashed into the concrete floor. Sometimes cage may be extremely helpful, for example in the situations like this. So it saved me $1000 for repairing, and it's making your camera more sturdy, more smash proof, I may say. What is also important both for photographers and filmmakers are filters. This is, for example, an ND filter. It is a variable one. So why you need a filter for your camera? It basically works like sunglasses. Why you should use ND filter as a video maker is because this way you can eliminate the so-called strobe. Like, for example, the simplest test you can do with it is to wave your hands, and if the settings are set correctly, you can see the motion blur. So I've taken off the ND filter, and now I have to crank up the shutter speed. And now let's make this simple test without ND filter. So now if I make something like this, as you can see, there is no motion blur, and the image reveals so-called strobing effect. So you can definitely say that the settings are wrong. ND filter is also a good creative tool for photographers, because this way you can use a long exposure in the daytime. For example, if you get an ND 1000 or even more, and basically it provides you with more creative ways to express yourself and to get the shot that is not available to others. And of course you need something to carry all your gear around, and of course it is a camera bag or a backpack. I think it's the best possible budget-friendly option on the market. So I have my camera, my grip and filters and microphones, additional batteries, power banks and even light, and on top of this I put the gimbal in, and so it all fits perfectly. And it's very important that after filming all day with this backpack, your back doesn't hurt a lot. I'd recommend going with this one, but there are a lot of other options like douche bags or Peter McKinnon Nomadic one, but they are a little bit more expensive than this. I'd be glad to know what is your favorite camera gear. Make sure to leave a comment down below. And thanks so much for watching. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.